Welcome to the Triple Play. We're going to be discussing the best teams in baseball today. As always, I'm Nate Olsen.
I'm Grayson CeBallos.
And I'm James Grove.
Who is trying really hard not to laugh. But let's get into baseball. We got some of these best teams here that we want to talk about. We got Detroit, who we kind of expected to be at the top of the division.
Well,
Because I believe someone had them third.
Where is this going?
Hold on. I would like to say that I had them at the top of the
Okay, first we should tell these viewers that this is only 2 weeks into the season.
This is only 2 weeks into the season, guys.
Just to clarify.
Let's just make that clear. It's 2 weeks into the season, but these are good starts by these teams.
Yes. And it's still notable.
This can change very easily in the next week or so, but we want to discuss it now because it's surprising to us. Not necessarily surprising because big guy over there had Detroit at the top of the division all the way through the season anyways. I didn't.
I don't either,
So, we're going to talk about Detroit. We're going to talk about Kansas City. We're going to talk a little bit about the New York Mets. Sleeper team, maybe. New York Mets, 9-3, top of the division. 2 weeks in, I know, but top of the division right now over the Washington Nationals, who everybody expected to have a big start and stay at the top of the division, first place from day one to the end of game 162. What do y'all think about the Mets?
I don't think they're going to keep it up at all. Their offense has been on fire, and I feel like Matt Harvey is going to come back to earth a little bit. I know I showed that I wasn't very high on him, and he has been, to my surprise, he has been absolutely dynamite out of the gates. 2 fantastic starts that he has had. But I feel like their whole team's going to come back to earth. They're going to end up around 500. Yeah.
I think James is wrong. Just straight up. I think Matt Harvey's going to have a monster year. And I didn't think that 3 weeks ago, but after watching his 2 starts, it's kind of like an eye-opener. I was like, oh, man, this guy is who he was before Tommy John. Like, this guy is good. And he is. He's pitched 2 great games, and I think he can continue doing that. Miami, I think, is having a little reality check, and I'm a little disappointed with them. So I do think the Mets have a legit chance of getting a wild card. It's just going to depend on how the Mets and Marlins face each other. I think it's what's going to end up happening. And I think that the Mets have a pitching staff that's good enough to lead them to wherever they want to go. If it's winning the division, which I don't think is going to happen this year, maybe in the near future. But I do think that they have a legit chance of competing for that wild card with their starting rotation. Even with David Wright hurt. He's hurt he's on a 15-day deal now. But he gets hurt every year, and it'll be longer than that eventually. So.
Well, what has the headline read the last 10 or 12 days? The Dark Knight Rises. I said it in the prediction video. Matt Harvey is going to have a good year. I have really high hopes for these young guys that come back from injuries. And I think just as a baseball fan, because it's fun to see guys that come back hurt or come back from being hurt to have a really good year and be successful. I mean, it's fun for baseball. So I think Matt Harvey is going to really turn things around for that club, at least as speaking about the rotation. Probably they're going to have a better rotation this year. Maybe not being up in the top of the division, maybe being close to a wild card. I don't know if they're going to win or not. It's up in the air right now, only 2 weeks in, but. They really changed my outlook on how they're going to play their season, even whenever they got all these guys getting suspended and getting hurt. They might do bigger things than I thought, and I'm willing to admit that. Just because it's fun to see a team like that hasn't been good in a few years, come back and be at the top of the division.
Hot start, yeah.
This guy still thinks they're going to lose every game this year.
No, hold on. Let me get this straight. Let me put this out there, I don't think that Matt Harvey's just going to be, totally destroyed. I just think he's going to come back to earth a little bit. Everyone's saying, oh, man. People have already been talking this guy's in contention with Cy Young. Okay, he's had a great start, but let's slow down here. He's coming back from Tommy John. Let's let him have a couple more starts. I think he's going to come back to earth. Doesn't mean he's going to have a terrible year. I think he's going to come back to earth. Same with the Mets. They're going to come back to earth. Doesn't mean they're going to have a terrible year. They're going to be around 500, which is probably a good year for them with this club, but they're just not going to be as good as
Negative Nancy over there. Let's talk about something you might like to talk about. Let's talk about Detroit being at the top of the division. Is this a surprise to you guys? What are they, 9-2?
9-2.
I mean, is this a surprise to either of you?
I'm a little disappointed with that division, to tell you the truth.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else.
Well, Chicago White Sox in particular.
Mm.
But
Hey, if y'all want to know what he's talking about, check out our prediction video.
Yeah.
It's just the start of the season. Detroit is off to a great start, and I mean they are a good team. It's hard not to be a good team when you got David Price, Miggy. I mean they've got a good team. I still think that they won't win the division. That's gut telling me that, but they are a good team, and I'm not surprised they're off to a good start.
Look, I said it in the prediction show. You cannot count out a team that has a Triple Crown winner on it. Miguel Cabrera is getting a little bit older, but he is still Miguel Cabrera. Their offense is absolutely insane. JD Martinez has been really good so far. They have a really good offense, and then David Price, he had a rough first start, but his second start was much better. 8 innings, no runs. They are going to be the team to beat in this division.
But can an offense like that, no matter how much power, no matter how much all-stars they have on it, can they help an ailing rotation or bullpen? I mean, I know the bullpen so far has been a little bit of a surprise to everybody, but the rotation, yeah, they have David Price, but Verlander's not the same. He's not a Cy Young contender really anymore. I mean, can the offense keep it up?
I think you're right. I think that just because they have a hot start, which I think is what they expected from themselves, I think by game 140 or so, we will see a very, very beat up, reflecting their age, Detroit Tigers team, and I think that's when they'll start to see their division win.
When you say age, who are you talking about? Because I believe only Miguel Cabrera and Victor Martinez and Justin Verlander are the old guys on that team. Price is pretty young. JD Martinez is pretty young. I would say that Yoenis Cespedes is pretty young. So who are you talking about? Old. Their age is going to catch up.
They're not that young of a team. They got, Kinsler's almost like 33, 34. He's getting up there in age. You got these guys are getting older.
Hasn't showed.
Okay. You're comparing them to the White Sox. Okay.
They're going to beat out the White Sox.
We'll see. I'm not gonna defend my White Sox anymore after their start. I still have faith. I still have faith. Chris Hill come back, but
look, I had them winning the wild card, so I think the White Sox will pick it back up, but Detroit's gonna win the division.
Okay, we'll see.
I've got nothing, guys. I mean, let's talk about another team in that division. Let's get off the White Sox and the Tigers for a second, all right? Kansas City. Did y'all forget that they were in that division, or is this just going to be a 2-team race all the way through?
Well.
Wait.
Okay.
Kansas City was 7-0 to start the season, the only undefeated team, throughout the first however many games that was. But, y'all see them staying up there? I don't think y'all see them staying up there. Y'all think it's going to be, maybe you think the White Sox are going to win it, but Kansas City has a legitimate shot at taking the division. They won the wild card last year. They have a legitimate shot at taking the division and possibly making the playoffs again, maybe another World Series run, but is it likely?
I don't believe so. Kind of like the Mets, their offense has been outstanding so far. But I don't think their pitching will hold up. They've got Ventura, who's good.
Hothead.
You got ejected yesterday.
Yeah,
yes, he did. Starting a lot of fights.
He gets off his rocker, but he can pitch. But I don't think that they'll be able to sustain what they've done so far. So
Lorenzo Cain's been outstanding so far.
Gosh.
He's been unbelievable. I really would love to see them do well, and I think that they can do well. And as much as it's going to hurt me to say this, I think that anywhere between Detroit, Chicago, and Kansas City, I think any of those teams could go down. I think that any one of those teams could either win the division or get a playoff berth with the wild card. I still am going to go with my original prediction and say Kansas City doesn't get into the playoffs.
I got the same thing.
But I do think that they're a very good team. I think that they will push till the very end, and they have surprised me so far with what they've done. So I'm happy for Kansas City.
And Lorenzo Cain is fun to watch in
He
center
is fun.
field.
Hey, that whole team is fun to watch.
Yeah, they definitely put on a show, but
Well,
not for long.
hey, thanks for joining us today, guys. As always, you can find us on our Twitter, the Triple Play 3. You can find us on Facebook, the Triple Play, and here on YouTube. You can subscribe to us, like our videos. If you got any questions, send them into Twitter, and we will answer them on one of our future videos. If you have anything else to ask us, you can ask us on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. That's it for us today. I'm Nate Olsen.
Grayson CeBallos here.
And I'm James Grove.